Arcane season 2, part 1, first, second, third episode of season 2. First episode. Oh, spoilers, 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 spoilers. We're talking spoilers, so just a heads up there. But oh my goodness, the first episode was wild. We just like start off with the trauma. We find out Caitlyn's mom is unalived, and like two other members of like that council have been unalived too by Jinx's attack. And one of them is paralyzed from the waist down. Like it's just like whoa, like we knew there were going to be major repercussions for what happened, but then you're like seeing it and it's just like the beginning. And then seeing Caitlyn and her dad mourning the loss of the mom, I was just like, this is heartbreaking, right? But then like we see Vi and Caitlyn, like their connections growing, and they're out to get Jinx. And to be honest, I had very little sympathy for Jinx at this point. Like, it's like you feel for Jinx because this is just wildly sad, right? It's just devastating. I can hear me repeating, by the way, if you can mute yourself over there. Thank you. Sorry. My boyfriend's watching me right over to the right here. But yeah, it's like very hard to sympathize for Jinx after seeing like the destruction that resulted from like, all of her trauma, but you're just like, oof, like that it's just really heavy, right? And you understand why Caitlyn like wants to go after her and get things done. So, the first episode was wildly good. And then you see like this little like army get together, and you see like the political attack, and like the lady with the like green stuff coming out of her fake nose, like trying to get vengeance for her son. And you're just like, there's action, action, action. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is just wild, that just so much is going on. And then, for me, the second and third episodes kind of slowed down a little bit. I didn't find them as entertaining as the first episode, but like, obviously that's going to happen, right? But, we kind of got to see what's, happening in Piltover, I feel like the secondary area. And correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, in the comments, y'all. Tear me up. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Fake fan, whatever. Just tell me in the comments. But yeah, I was like, man, things are so bad down south, because it's like, oh my God, that sounded inappropriate. But anyway, things are not going well in Piltover. I think that's the name of the city. Double check me, anybody who actually knows that. But it's like they're at war because Silco is no longer there, and Jinx is a menace, and they're having like leadership battles and all this political unrest. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is wild, But then we finally see the Jinx and Vi meet up, right? Oh, I forgot about Victor and Jace, like they have their un-best friending moment, which was so intense. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, they are like not besties anymore. And Victor is so traumatized by the loss of like the assistant who cared about him so much, and he's just like, I'm out, dude. I'm alive and I'm out, and I'm going back to Piltover, I believe, where he's from. And he's like, I'm going back, right? And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe he just like turned his back on Jace like that. Like it was really cruel and harsh, but this is the world we live in that's super cruel and harsh, right? So yeah. And then we see Victor, and it looks like he's going to be a cult leader. Like I have no idea what's going on. Like he's got his like powers from Hex Tech, and I was like, oh wow, like this is wild. Like we're getting deep here, right? And all the Hex Tech stuff kind of confused me, went a little bit over my head, but you can tell it's super powerful. And then we get the Jinx Vi face off, and Caitlyn is just like so driven to unalive Jinx. And I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of understood why Caitlyn was upset, because there was an opportunity to unalive Jinx. I don't think the answer is to unalive Jinx, but I think that like Vi told Caitlyn, like, if this situation presents itself, then like I'm gonna let you do it. But then when the situation did present itself, she stood in the way, which is, people are entitled to change their opinion or whatever. And there was a child, nearby. Like there's a valid argument, but it's like from Caitlyn's perspective, I'd be like, dude, you told me I could do this. Like, what's the deal now? And then I think from Vi's perspective, I can understand what they're seeing. And then obviously, like, Jinx just, like, is filled with vitriol against both of them. So the preview for the next 3 episodes, Vi's, like, dyeing her hair, and, like, Caitlyn's now going to be the military commander. I'm like chomping at the bit for more. I definitely think it's holding up. And I'm really excited. And also all the manipulation, the lady with the scar, and she, my gosh, the mom, I can't think of her name right now, but I was like, villain, and I love it. I think it's great. So yeah, I'm loving Arcane season 2. I think it's really, really awesome. And I see some people in the chat, they're like, I have Arcane on my watch list. Dude, season 1 is like some of the best. Like it's one of my favorite shows. Like I've rewatched Arcane a ton. I thought the first season was so good. I love the sisters. Oh my God, I forgot. Caitlyn and Vi finally kiss. I was like losing my mind. I was losing my mind when they finally kissed. Like, it's also great because like there's this amazing relationship between Vi and Caitlyn, and I'm like, it's kind of like been torn right now, and they finally made out, and I was like, no, dude. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. I don't think it's as good as season 1 at this point, but I'm like really giving it some breathing room. I think it's gonna definitely pick up. So anyway, that's my opinion on Arcane season 2 part 1. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below, and follow me on all the different social media channels, and subscribe to me on YouTube.